This is a team that played well coming into the break. They're looking forward to trying to play well going out of the break. A lot of left-handed hitters in that lineup to face Peter Lambert tonight, TK.
Yeah, interesting, because last time when Lambert faced the Orioles, they went all right-handed, and that didn't go very well. So they're going to go left-handed tonight, even though Peter has great numbers against the Orioles. You see his numbers on the season. He has been the most consistent Astros starter in those 15 starts from opening day through the All-Star break. He has gone at least 6 innings in 7 of those 15 starts. And Blummer, it's always one guy you don't expect, whether you go back to J.P. France or Brandon Walter or Jason Alexander. At the beginning of the season, if you said, where would the Astros be without one of those guys in the past or this year, it's Peter Lambert.
Yeah, he seems like he's new on the scene, but I think actually him having the opportunity in Colorado, moving to Japan, and then coming back here with the Astros, there's a lot of experience under the belt or under that lid of Peter Lambert. He's done a really good job. He's been consistent. He chose to stay with the Astros out of spring training, and it's really paid off. He has absolutely been their most consistent starter this season.
Astros, when he is on the mound making his 16th start of the year, he has an 8-5 record in his 2 no decisions. They are 1-1, so they have won 9 of his 15 starts on the year. We're ready to go. 99 is the game number, and the first pitch is popped high in the air. Isaac Paredes gives it a look, and it's just beyond the Orioles dugout. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their 4-day All-Star break. Astros back at home to kick off, quote unquote, the second half of the season, but it's really not. As we mentioned, the Astros are well past the halfway point of the season, having played 98 games. This ball is also popped up, and this one's playable. Jeremy Pena, the shortstop, backs up, makes the call, and makes the catch. The player to watch is presented by Jack in the Box, and tonight's starter, Peter Lambert, in the American League West, has the second best ERA in the division, ahead of all those Mariners pitchers, including Emerson Hancock and Logan Gilbert. That's with a minimum of 80 innings. Lambert just trailing Walbert Urania of the Angels. Pretty impressive numbers for a guy who did not make the team coming out of spring training, as he delivers a strike to Adley Rutschman. Last start, Blummer, a game you did, he went 6 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball. That was the Astros' lone win in that series against the Rangers. And Joe Espada saying afterwards he just loved the way Lambert continues to attack hitters.
He's aggressive with the fastball. It's probably his best pitch. But the lefties has been that fastball changeup combination with a couple of cutters mixed in there. But at the same time, that start he had as he hits Adley Rutschman with that pitch down and in, it was almost a boring start. He was just so consistent, attacking the hitters, not a lot of hard contact, and he just kept grabbing the baseball, shaking his head yes, and working through it.
Little breaking ball there, hit the dirt, and then it hit Adley Rutschman. That'll be a hit by pitch. So the Orioles have their first base runner. And that'll bring up Taylor Ward. This is a guy that's very patient at the plate. You have to throw him a strike, as he misses up for ball 1. Ward has walked in 6 straight games. You can see where he ranks in the major leagues with 75 walks. He is number 3. And he does not chase outside of the zone at all. Best in all of baseball with a 14.5% chase rate. As he takes a pitch for a strike here, 1-1 to count. Eric Bacchus, our home plate umpire. Orioles on a 4-game winning streak coming into today. They won 4 games going into the All-Star break for the first time all season. That one catches the outside corner, and Ward down to the count 1-2.
Good sweeper right there from Lambert. You'll see it right here on our UT-MD Anderson strike zone. Perfectly placed. It's a good pitch against a guy who is very selective at the plate in Ward.
That one sweeps wide, and the count evens at 2 apiece. The Giants and the Orioles, going into the last week before the All-Star break, were the only 2 teams that did not have a winning streak of 4 games or more. Then the Orioles won 4 in a row right before the 4-day break. Down goes Ward on strikes. First strikeout for Lambert, 2 outs in the inning. How about the Astros starting defense is presented by Xfinity. Joe Espada saying before the game he likes the combination of Lambert working with Christian Vasquez. So Vasquez starts the first game out of the All-Star break. Normal guys on the infield, Paredes, Pena left side, Altuve, Walker right side. And how about Lucas Spence making his major league debut in between Lamont Wade Jr. and Cam Smith. Pete Alonso taking a sweeper or a slur for a called strike. Alonso coming in, leading the team in all the power categories, most home runs, most RBIs, also has the most runs scored on this team and the highest OPS. Only Oriole to play every game going into the All-Star break, all 97. Hits it sharply, knocked down by Pena, stays with it, and he throws out Alonso by a step. Jeremy Pena, a tough play, records the out for the final out of the inning. Astros will have Pena leading off the bottom half of the first, followed by Yordan Alvarez and Isaac Paredes. Kramer has made 6 starts against the Astros in his career, never lost a game against them. You can see he's only made 4 starts this year. He's been on the IL most of the season with a right quad strain, and he's only made 2 starts in April and 2 starts in July. He's had 1 good start in July and 1 not so good start facing the 2 Chicago teams. His good start came against the White Sox, 6 innings of 1-run baseball. His not so good start came against the Cubs, 5 innings of 4-run baseball. But the Astros trying to put an L on Kramer for the first time ever as he faces them for a 7th time. He has pitched well here at Dyken Park, 14 2/3 innings, just 1 run allowed as he delivers down for a ball to Jeremy Pena. Pena went 2 for 12 on the road trip, including 0 for his last 7. That was in Arlington, as the Astros dropped 2 out of 3 to the Nationals and 2 out of 3 to the Rangers. Leading into this All-Star break, the Astros currently 4 games under 500. Are playing their 48th game at home. They've played 51 so far on the road. 2-0 pitch is near the bottom of the zone, but called low, and it's 3-0 to Pena.
Good eye by Jeremy.
Only 4 walks for Kramer in his 4 starts.
No, he's been unbelievable against the Astros. It's kind of hard to explain. He doesn't light anything up as far as radar guns. He's got a good split. He's given up 5 home runs in 6 starts. He just finds ways to beat the Astros. There you go. As far as lowest ERAs career versus the Astros, he's in that top 5, 2.59, tied with Jack Flaherty. And what's amazing to me is those bottom 2, Dean Kramer and Jack Flaherty. If you go around the league, they get hit around a little bit, but he just finds a way to deal against the Houston Astros.
Well, there's the rare walk, only his 5th walk in his 5th start this season as he walks Pena, the leadoff hitter.
Navy Federal Credit Union is on a mission, and so is Yordan Alvarez. Post All-Star break, we left 2025 out of there because he was injured for most of it, but if you see when he is healthy, he finishes incredibly strong. And if he puts up these type of numbers to finish off the post All-Star break session of this season, he should end up with that triple crown.
And we heard the chance of MVP for the first time in the last homestand. And he has 64 games to maintain his position as the front runner for American League MVP this year. Yordan was amazing in that series against the Rangers, 6 for 10. And he also drew 4 walks. The last 2 were his last 2 plate appearances when the Rangers just got tired of seeing him try to hit, and they walked him twice intentionally.
Yeah, we would talk about Skip Schumacher trying to make that decision, and finally he did, realizing that part ownership of that ballpark up north is Yordan's. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just expected that he's going to do damage in that ballpark, and he doesn't do it by fence scrapers either. He is hitting just megaton bombs out there.
His 200th career home run in that stadium went 455 feet. That was a no-doubter. Jordan ended up going 1 for 2 with a single in the All-Star game on Tuesday as he batted the number 2 spot in that lineup. Got a couple of at-bats before Yandy Diaz took over as a DH.
Well, and I'm curious down the stretch in the second half, how many of these contending teams with the Astros playing against the Astros continue to pitch to Jordan, or will they revert to that intentional walk?
2-2 pitch, skied to left center, pretty well hit. Colton Cowser near the wall. It's off the top of the wall. That almost left the yard the other way. RBI double for Jordan. Start the MVP chance.
TK, you're right. That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. The way that the center fielder Cowser was tracking it, I thought it was going to be a catch, but on our matches from Supermo, you can see it got a lot more barrel than we thought and hit high off that wall out there in left center. Cowser drifting over there looked like he had a beat on it. With some late life on that, and Jordan, guess what, has a hit and an RBI.
Really good read by Pena, too.
Incredible, yeah.
Everybody wants that guy to win MVP that's in the Astros dugout, and Pena just helped him out by giving him an extra RBI on a great read.
I think Pena understands how important his role is in this Triple Crown that Jordan is trying to get.
You could see Pena around second when that ball hit off the top of the wall, and he had ended up scoring easily.
See that read by Jeremy. He knew that ball was hit well. When you're on the field, you can see it off the bat. But he did a great job getting close to second base and then turning on the afterburners.
Astros with a quick 1-0 lead against Kramer. Now an 0-1 count on Paredes. This ball into right field for a base hit. Being held up at third is Jordan Alvarez. Congratulations to Isaac Paredes on his first hit as a father, as he and his fiance just had a baby over the All-Star break.
Congratulations to Isaac. But a good piece of hitting. This is a cutter that moves off the outside corner, but that was just a beautiful swing by Isaac, keeping his head down, staying on it, and textbook going the other way. And of course, our aerial coverage of our wire cam is brought to you by our partners at Defy.
Isaac Jr. born 2 days ago. Now Isaac back and playing and picking up a base hit in his first at bat as a daddy. So now the infield back against Christian Walker. First and third and nobody out, and the Astros already in front 1-0 against Kramer. Astros looking for a 2-run outburst against Kramer in this park. It's never happened before where he's given up more than 1 run in a start here in Houston.
Don't you kind of sense that they're a little frustrated with getting beat by Dean Kramer as well? The last 2 hits against Kramer have gone to the opposite field. Jordan going to left center and Isaac going to the right side.
Christian sitting on 58 RBIs at the All-Star break. Has a great opportunity here to add to that total. Misses the breaking ball. It's 1-2.
Outfield arms are presented by Lone Star College. You're going to challenge Ward out there in left field. Not a very good arm. Cowser and Beavers have very good arms. Cowser probably the better arm out there in center field, but got to keep an eye on them. If they move left or right, you might take a chance.
Big strikeout for Kramer, keeping the runners at first and third. That's the first out of the inning, and he picks it up with a strikeout, which is what he was looking for there. Now Jose Altuve. Tube gets a big hand here post All-Star break from the crowd. Good numbers in his career, not only against the Orioles, but against Dean Kramer. He is 9 for 20 with a home run, as he still has first and third with the infield back and takes a pitch off the plate for ball 1. Altuve had a hit in every game in that Arlington series, and that's a 3-game hitting streak coming into tonight. Down and away, 2-0. That's a strike on the outside corner. That hit by Paredes, just the second hit by a right-hand hitter against Kramer this month. It's only his 3rd start this month. But now righties are 2 for 19 against him as Altuve saw a perfectly placed cutter for strike 1 in this count. Now fastball at the knees and the count evens up.
Kramer lives on that outside edge to right-handed hitters. You're seeing a pretty good example of it here in the 1st inning with the fastball, the 4-seam fastball, the sinker on the outside corner, and then trying to use that cutter off the outside edge.
Try to get Altuve to chase. Jose has not swung the bat in this first AB out of the All-Star break yet. It's 3-2.
You know, with Jeremy Pena healthy and at the top of the lineup, and you have Altuve hitting in that 5-6 spot. Imagine if he gets on a tear, getting hits with runners in scoring position. That would really kind of set this Astros offense off.
Towards short. They flip to second for 1, and they're able to turn the double play on Altuve, and the Astros fail to score more than just the 1 run. 1-0 at the end of 1.
Presented by Ford. Peter Lambert has been the Astros' most consistent starter this season. He'll face 3 consecutive left-handed hitters to start the top of the 2nd here. And an interesting trend this season has been his success against left-handed hitters. Looking at the splits, he's struck out 47 hit lefties while allowing just 23 hits. And as you can see right here, among right-handed pitchers facing left-handed batters, Lambert ranks 2nd in Major League Baseball in both opponent batting average and opponent slugging percentage, trailing only Milwaukee's Jacob Mizorowski. That's elite company, guys, and it's been a big reason why he's given the Astros such steady production every time he takes the mound. Joe Espada telling me today that he's a guy that just throws a ton of strikes, uses all of his pitches, and he's just not afraid of contact. Peter made a lot of adjustments when he was overseas, and Joe said he's just been great. We're so excited to have him here in Houston.
Thanks, Lauren. LC with us during this series. Julia will be back for the Miami Marlins series beginning on Monday. Glad to have Lauren with us over the weekend here against the O's. Samuel Basallo leading things off down in the count 0-2, and that is quick work. Lambert makes a Basallo a 3-pitch strikeout for his 2nd K of the night.
He's got great numbers like what we're saying against left-handed hitters. This is the arsenal he uses against left-handed hitters. Believe it or not, heavy on that 4-seam fastball and changeup. But I think that Cutter's done a good job of setting up some of these hitters as well. The averages against all sub 200, pretty impressive. And he just used that slider in that last at bat to get by Basallo.
You know, one thing the Astros did with Lambert at the beginning of the spring is sometimes you come over with all those pitches and a team wants to kind of cut down on the number of pitches you throw, but Astros said they all profile pretty well according to our numbers, so stick with whatever you like and throw the pitches, whatever of that arsenal that you like, as much as you want, because we like all those pitches.
And what's amazing, if you go to Baseball Savant, you look at the arsenal that he does have, it lists 8 pitches. I don't know what's on that pitch com or how many buttons there are.
I don't think 8.
But that seems quite a few. He might be the only guy that needs 2 pitch comms to figure out what to throw.
2-1 pitch catches the top of the zone. It's 2-2.
Call the strike. The batter's challenging.
Dylan Beavers is going to challenge that pitch at the top of the zone. He thought that was a little bit high. Eric Bach is calling it a strike. Our ABS powered by T-Mobile shows that it's
It's a strike. Baltimore's got 1 left.
That was easily in the zone.
Yeah, that took a healthy chunk out of that up and away corner, didn't it?
It did. So the Orioles lose one of their challenges here in the second inning, and it's a 2-2 count to Beavers. Astros continue to be the best team in all of baseball with the number of overturns. And that's strike three at the corner. Is Beavers going to challenge again? No, he's going to walk away. That is a called third for strikeout number 3 for Lambert.
This one was a little bit more edgy on the UT Andy Anderson strike zone. Still catches it, but that is a beautiful changeup.
As a hitter, you're like, why did I challenge that last one? Because I can't burn them both in the same at bat.
Oh, yeah. If you steal both those challenges and you get them wrong, yeah, you might as well go into the opponent's dugout.
Now 2 strikeouts, and Colton Cowser will bat. Cowser was happy for the break to come. He was in an 0 for 11 going into the break, and just 1 for 22 his last 10 games before the 4 days off. Cowser back in his hometown. Takes a pitch off the plate for a ball, 1-2. Lambert with 2 strikeouts in the inning ahead of Cowser, 1-2. Colton puts the ball on the ground towards Altuve, makes the play, and that'll do it. Nice 1-2-3 inning for Peter Lambert with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. By the general manager of the Houston Astros, and Dana Brown takes a little time here in the booth. Thanks for joining us, Brown.
No problem. I'm glad to be on.
How was your All-Star break? You made a trade.
Yeah, not much of a break. Look, we stay busy around here, just trying to think of ways to improve this club, and we're still locked in. We got the second half to go. It's a sprint, these last 64.
How do you handle the All-Star break, the excitement of it, but you have the draft going into the break, and immediately you've got to shift gears? Do you have your department split in half, one draft, one trade market, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, you have the amateur scouting department, you have the pro department. So, look, I've been in the game for 36 years, and you have to stay locked in. It's a long season. It's 162 games, and you have to be ready so you don't have to get ready.
You've been locked in for 36 years?
Yeah, 36 years. Every now and then I'll fall asleep, but my wife will wake me up.
All right, so I know we keep hearing left-handed outfielder as a possible target for you at the trade deadline. Does this guy at the plate possibly change the calculus towards that? Is he possibly the left-handed outfielder you've been looking for?
Look, he's brought some excitement, no doubt about it, with some big home runs. And, he went down there, got hurt a little bit. That hurt us a little bit. He was, swinging the bat pretty well. The other thing is we're not afraid to call up the young guys from within. We got Spence in the lineup tonight. That's another left-hand bat. We're going to see how that works out as well. And so we're not going to leave any stone unturned. We're going to be locked in.
So what precipitated the idea of bringing Lucas Spence up? What made you feel that this was the right time for this young man to get an opportunity?
Yeah, he's been playing well this year in the minor leagues. He's been in the grind. This guy was a passed-over, signed free agent. Came into the organization right away, turned some heads, and he went down in the minor leagues and got locked in. We're not afraid to call up the young players.
When you make a deal kind of early in the process, there's still 2.5 weeks before the trade deadline. Does now all of a sudden your phone ring more or get more texts from other guys because you made that early move in the trade deadline?
Yeah, I think the phones are still pretty steady. Most guys will start off with a text message. Every now and then you'll get a phone call. But we've been going back and forth with text messages with a lot of GMs and presidents.
How about Lamont Wade Jr. there battling for a walk? Kramer hadn't walked many all season, and now he's walked 2 tonight, both leadoff hitters in the first and second.
Yeah, you did make
that right there.
Yeah, no, that's an Astro way right there. Find your way on base and get that big swing. And we know Cam Smith can provide that at any moment. I'm curious. You did make that trade, so maybe you're sparking maybe those fires a little bit earlier than most. But do you feel it's going to be? I just feel like the August 3rd trade deadline is so far into the season that teams might be a little more aggressive before the trade deadline so that they have access to whoever they trade for maybe a longer stretch of time. Does that make sense?
Well, it takes 2 to tango. It's going to be tough, but ultimately, I think these guys all feel like they're in it. Most of the clubs, there's some parity here. The division and the wild card is all bunched up, and so guys feel like they can still make it. And so I don't think guys are going to rush out there and make any big deals. I think guys are going to let it play out, and I think you're going to see more down that last week.
What would you say are your areas you'd like to improve?
Yeah, we've talked about getting more production in the outfield with the bats. And so, that's one of the reasons why we went and got Wade, one of the reasons why we called up Spence. We're just trying to get some outfield production, and if we could improve the starting pitching, the good thing is we got Blanco coming back. We got Wesneski's coming back. We got, Souza coming back in the bullpen. And so I think our pitching's going to get better for sure. So we're really looking for that outfield offensive production.
It's got to be hopeful when you watch your outfield play on the road. When they play on the road, they put up incredible numbers, drive the ball out of the ballpark. Their defense is off the charts too. But when they come into Daikin Park, it's a completely different outfield. How do you handle that?
It's very weird. Look, they play outfield defense well all year. It's just on the road. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's the batter's eye or whatever the case may be. But we have guys that are hitting here, and sometimes these guys that struggle on the road, that hit on the road, sometimes hit here. And so, you don't want to make excuses, but at the end of the day, you really have to get locked in when you get home in front of your fans and stay locked in. And I don't know what it is that these guys are really going after it on the road. Maybe to get more sleep.
Cam battling here after Lamont Wade picked up a walk on a 3-2 pitch, and Lamont's going to take off on a pitch in the dirt. He's going to be safe.
It's good base running.
Good base running and 2 good back-to-back plate appearances against Kramer with guys battling with 2 strikes.
Yeah, we need to grind this guy, man. Get his pitch count up. Seriously.
No, I'm with you, but the at-bats that the Astros are putting together early in this game, it's good anticipation right there by Lamont Wade to take that extra 90 feet.
Are they going to challenge? They're challenging the call at second, ruled safe by Chris Siegel. Apparently Craig Alvarez and his video crew thought they saw something
Baltimore
there.
challenging the safe call at second.
Seemed a little late to me.
Yeah, it was a good pick on the throw. It wasn't the best throw from Adley Rutschman. As you can see, maybe did he catch it on the jersey?
Ooh.
Yeah, the throw kind of took him up into the left arm, huh?
Where's the foot? That's close. Dana, what do you think? I know you're biased.
Yeah, it looks really close. Yeah, he may have gotten him.
Think he got the sleeve?
Yeah, he got the sleeve. You got to get all that arm and everything out of the way when you're sliding into second base.
Here we go. Laz Diaz, the crew chief, will give us the call from New York.
Review. The call's been overturned. The runner is out. Baltimore retains the challenge.
So the throw just hopped up and got him on the sleeve for the first out. Wade Jr. tried to advance on the wild pitch. Instead, he's out number 1.
Yeah, I still think it was a good read and a good chance to take right there. It just took a fortuitous bounce into the glove of Holiday to get on that sleeve.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd rather for guys to be aggressive.
Excellent defensive catcher, Adley Rutschman. So, Dana, you mentioned guys coming off the IL, and you probably know this stat better than anybody because your blood pressure probably goes up when guys don't go at least 5 innings as a starter. It's happened 36 times this year. That's way more than you want at the All-Star break. Do you see the possibility with all these starters that are kind of in the mix of guys maybe piggybacking towards the end of your rotation in the final 64 games as Cam goes down on strikes?
Yeah, absolutely. I see the tide's going to turn. We're going to have 2 starters coming back. When you go less than 5, you end up beating up your bullpen a little bit, and so our bullpen was a little bit taxed in that first half. And so getting the two starters back, that's going to be important. We're going to insert those guys as soon as we can. And also getting Souza back to give some of the bullpen somewhat of a breather. That'll be helpful.
Major league debut for Lucas Spence.
Nice line drive hit. I'll take it.
First pitch curveball? Come on, Kramer.
Yeah.
Got to challenge the young man, don't you?
Well, you heard this young man could hit fastballs, and if you throw a fastball here, it'll be a base hit.
He did a good job of laying off that. Oh, he can fly, can he?
That's 2 breaking balls in a row. Yeah, he can really run. Plus runner for sure. Uses that run speed in the outfield, too. Makes him plus defender as well.
And I've heard he's got a pretty good arm.
And he can throw, yes. He can get the ball in the mid-90s coming in.
Really?
Yep.
So you remember last time you were on headset with us for a big league debut with an outfielder?
Yeah.
Zach
I remember
Cole.
that. Zach Cole. Home run in Atlanta.
Yes. You were in the booth with us in Atlanta when Zach
First pitch
he saw in his big league career.
Yeah, it was exciting.
So now 2-1 count. This is an undrafted free agent.
Yes.
And when you're an undrafted free agent, you know, as a scout, you have to earn every step of the way.
Every step of the way, and it's good for the local scout who bared down and said, hey, this is a guy that I would recommend. You know, and obviously the pitcher knows too, because he's thrown him a lot of breaking balls right up front.
Last pitch is about a foot outside. Do you get a chance to talk to some of these guys before they get on the field or when they get into the clubhouse?
Yeah, I had a meeting.
What do you say to them?
Yeah, I had a meeting with Spence yesterday, and I told him, look, let's go out there and have fun, no pressure. Play the game the way you know how to play it. You know, there's a reason why you're here. You're an undrafted free agent. You worked your tail off to get here, and let's go have some fun.
Love it.
3-2 pitch stays alive, grounds it foul. So the draft went about as well as you guys could have hoped.
Yeah, very exciting draft, you know, with the extra picks. You know, that always helped. They had a nice little pool money. And so we were really aggressive. We felt like we took a lot of arms. We got some pretty good bats. And, yeah, it's exciting.
Another 3-2 pitch, and Spence hanging in there in his first big league at bat.
After the draft, you've got to go to work again with these draftees, don't you? But there's a pretty tight window to get these guys signed and ready to go.
Yeah, we get them locked in. We bring them all here, which is great. We do a little dinner, and we get them all signed, and it's a nice, fun event.
Pretty proud of this AB.
That's a way to battle right there. He's grinding it out, giving the pitcher something to think about.
I feel like he's locked in.
Yeah, he's locked in. I told him to stay locked in. He's locked in.
9th pitch coming in his first major league plate appearance, and it's a walk.
Yeah.
It's a good at bat right there.
That's really well done. That's a kid who I'm sure had nerves, but he was able to calm his nerves enough for a 9-pitch walk.
Yeah, the beauty is you got to watch out because he may steal second base.
I was going to say, hopefully DC's over there telling him to get the green light, but a good take on that breaking ball down. A lot of curveballs in that at bat to Lucas Spence.
Got his hands in a good spot.
It looks like he's got a nice compact swing. Not a lot of movement. The head's still.
A lot of family members here, too.
Yeah, that was his dad, Thomas, and his sister, Allison, here for his debut. And that's a called strike. It's 0-1. We like to show the families because they have been through it as well. From Blackhawk College through Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, all the way through the minor leagues and up to the big leagues.
Yeah, don't forget the Little League and all of that.
Oh. 0-1 pitch is fouled back. It's 0-2.
Come on, Vasky, to shoot a gap or hit one down the line so you can see Spence run.
Be a beautiful sight.
Lucas Spence in the minor leagues this year with 13 stolen bases in 15 attempts. It's down and away, 1-2. So when you see the lineup of the first 3 starters today, it's obviously Peter Lambert, as consistent as anyone in your rotation all year long. Then you've got Spencer Arrighetti, who was brilliant in May and has struggled since a little bit. Hunter Brown, he seems to be the guy that you can maybe look to get things rolling here post All-Star break, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think with Hunter Brown, once he gets into game shape, he'll be fine. You know, sometimes you come out hot, spring training, you go down with an injury. and then you got to get it ramped back up again. You know, you got to go through the other spring training. Then you get out and you start pitching, and it's high intensity. You know, it takes the wind out of you, and you know, we'll get him back.
Yeah, he's such an amazing competitor. Even without his best stuff, he's been able to give the Astros some pretty good fight and keep them in games. But you've got Peter Lambert going today, who's been absolutely incredible. What an epiphany that guy's been in your rotation. Kind of a nice surprise out of spring.
He's been great, and thank God he accepted the assignment to go down to AAA. He pitched, and
that story
we told him that there was a clear path for him to get back here, and he believed in it and believed in us and what we told him, and he's really helping this club out.
4th straight full count since Dana Brown's been in the booth, and a lot of pitches on Kramer. Do you want to give any insight on that? I mean, you have to be a really good organization with a good relationship with a pitcher for a guy who says, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to test the waters with the other 29 teams with Lambert.
Yeah, I mean, he was locked in. I mean, I talked to him. You know, it helps when you say, hey, I saw you in high school, and you talk about all that other good stuff, and it really helped out.
You saw him in San Dimas.
Yes.
There you go. Dana Brown, we always love the visit. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, thank you.
Couldn't get a run for us, but
hey, you got a lot of deep counts though.
Yeah, we did.
It worked out. All right, 1-0 Astros after 2.
Talked about a trade that Dana Brown had to make over the All-Star break. Big name Lance McCullers Jr. going to Milwaukee. He burst onto the scene in 2015 and made his mark immediately, bringing that fire, that passion, and the stuff to the Houston Astros. Big part of that 2015 team, big part of the 2017 World Series team. Some of the big moments and big ranks he has in Astros franchise history with a minimum of 800 innings. 2nd in K per 9, 7th in WHIP, 6th in OPS. He had a great run with the Houston Astros and left an indelible mark here in this organization as well as the city itself.
Good luck to Lance and his family as they move on to Milwaukee for the rest of the year. As Lance McCullers Jr. said, he and his wife Kara and their kids will always call Houston home. He loved living here and playing here from age 18 when he was drafted out of Tampa Jesuit High School. Basically spent half of his life as a member of the Houston Astros organization. So good luck to Lance in his future endeavors, and I'm sure we'll see him around town somewhere down the road. He's on the active roster right now for the Brewers, so he's going to get a chance to pitch for a team that's currently in first place.
There you go.
Lance is wearing number 50 in a Brewers uniform. Jackson Holliday, the batter, after Kobe Mayo picked up a first base hit to start the inning. That's the first hit allowed by Peter Lambert. It just snuck by Jeremy Pena to his left.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have a chance to make that play, just barely missed it.
Now Lambert ahead of Holliday 0-2. Jackson only playing 45 games so far this season. Had surgery to repair a right hamate bone. So only playing in less than half of his team's 97 games to this point. Just missed the bottom of the zone. Close call, but a good call as it turns out by Eric Bacchus. It's 1-2.
Yeah, just barely below that UTMB Anderson strike zone with the changeup.
Swing and a miss. Lambert picks up his 4th strikeout, getting Holliday for the first out of the inning.
Doubled up on it and got him to chase further down out of the zone. Way out in front on our mattress from Supermo. Good pitch.
Now back to the top of the order for Gunnar Henderson. He popped up to Pena his first time up. And the first pitch down for ball one. Lefties so far tonight have 3 of the 4 strikeouts against Lambert. Only 3 righties in the lineup, and one of the righties has the hit, Kobe Mayo. That's a strike at the top of the zone. It's 1-1. Henderson has hit in 7 consecutive games against the Astros, and he likes playing here at Dyken Park. He was backing up Bobby Witt Jr., part of Team USA last time he was here in this stadium. Quite a shortstop combo when you got Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson, and only one can play.
Tough choice with that kind of talent.
This ball sent to center, moving over is Spence, and he glides to make his first play in the big leagues, making that catch in right center for out number 2. Celebrate Christmas in July. It's tomorrow night, presented by Macy's. Be sure to purchase your ugly Christmas sweater add-on while supplies last. Visit Astros.com/Christmas for more details. Not really challenged all that much on that first play, but Spence looked pretty smooth getting over into right center to make that catch.
Got a very good jump.
There goes the runner. The pitch is wide. The throw on the money, but just not able to make the tag as Jeremy Pena might have just short hopped him. Pena, frustrated, fires the ball towards his own dugout as Mayo picks up just his 2nd steal of the year.
Vasquez did a good job of popping out from behind home plate. Might have just short hopped. You can see it getting a little bit of the dirt, catching the edge of the glove instead of the pocket of Jeremy Pena. But if that throw is caught, Kobe Mayo's out.
You can see why Jeremy was frustrated with himself. That pitch is down and in is 2-0. Rutschman was hit by a breaking ball his first time up. That catches the outside corner, 2-1. Bradley asking Eric Bacchus if that was as far out as the strike zone goes. Once you lose that first challenge, though, it changes the dynamic a little bit for your offense. That one's down, 3-1. Last inning, it was all full counts for Dean Kramer. This is the first 3-ball count of the night for Peter Lambert, facing batter number 10 in his outing. Hit sharply but foul, and the count's 3-2.
Even Lambert's bad changeups are tough to hit for lefties. Rutschman way out in front of that one and basically missed right down the middle. But it gives you a good idea of maybe some of the tunneling and that release point, and the arm action of Lambert on that changeup is deceiving.
That'll be a walk, so Rutschman has not put the ball in play, but he's been on base twice. A hit by pitch and now a walk. Now a word from Dairy Queen.
Treat yourself to a summertime reward at DQ with our limited time drumstick blizzard of the month.
A little visit from Christian Vasquez here. First time the Orioles have had multiple runners on in one inning. Ward struck out swinging his first time up. Taylor Ward coming over in an off-season trade with the Angels. Had a nice year for them. Leads the team in doubles, leads the team in walks, and third in the major leagues in that category. It was a 1-for-1 deal with the Orioles sending right-handed pitcher Grayson Rodriguez to the Angels. Just missed the bottom of the zone. It's now 2-0 to Ward.
Some pretty good takes at the bottom of the zone against Peter. TK, a lot of people on social media said that you and I are locked in.
D. Brown, gotta love him. He's been locked in.
Would have never guessed.
Oh, it was funny. I love it.
Awesome.
He's so good. We appreciate whenever he comes into the booth.
But he loves the game.
Oh.
I mean, everything about it, he loves it. That's why he kept saying locked in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those at bats, I mean, you can feel how intense he is during the game. Even though he's listening to us and answering questions, he's into every pitch.
It would be funny if we actually just kept the camera on him, or like just the booth during those interviews, because I mean, he was not a baby. Well, they didn't give it to him.
Oh.
He was chest up to the desk, didn't look at either one of us, eyes on every pitch that was happening right in front of him as he was answering those questions. It was incredible.
He would probably not be as excited had he stayed around this inning because the bases are now loaded. There would be some tension here. Now Josh Miller is going to give Peter Lambert a little extra breather.
Well, considering who you've got at the plate, too, kind of contributes to the stress of this situation.
Their RBI leader, Pete Alonso, coming over in the offseason from the Mets, their big offseason acquisition. 65 RBIs at the break.
And this is eerily similar to that start Lambert had in Baltimore against these Orioles. They did a great job of waiting him out. Threw a lot of pitches in 4 1/3 innings coming out. Only gave up a couple of runs. But at the same time, it was a little bit of an exhausting, laborious outing for him.
So big spot here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Single by Mayo to lead things off. Almost thrown out at second to end the inning, but since then a couple of walks to load the bases. First pitch fastball right down the middle that gets by Alonso for strike 1.
95. Little hump on this one, getting through there. Big swing from Pete.
Alonso signing a 5-year deal with the Orioles on December 11th of 2025. 5-year, $155 million deal. Plays off that pitch wide. It's 2-1. So now the Orioles putting some pitches on Lambert, who only needed 24 to get through the first 2 innings. It's pop foul and out of play. It's going to be 2-2. More pitches this inning than the previous 2 combined. Hoping the 28th pitch will be his last.
I like the location of that fastball into Pete Alonso. This is a guy that loves to get his arms extended.
Mayo on third, Rutschman on second, Ward on first. Another 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. Way up, and the throw back pitch safe at first base. Walker thought he had the tag down. We'll see if the Astros challenge. Vasquez trying to save the inning with a back pick of Taylor Ward at first.
That was a heck of a catch and tag by Walk. Not an easy pitch to throw on. But a quick catch and tag. Vasky thought he got him.
No challenge from the Astros dugout. Walker thought they had him. Vasquez thought they had him.
Oh, maybe the tag just didn't get on that right arm.
So some near misses on third outs in this inning. Vasquez almost threw out a runner at second. Now he almost backpicked a runner at first. 3-2 pitch is ball 4, and Vasquez is going to challenge.
Call the ball. The catcher is challenging.
A huge replay coming up because it's ABS powered by T-Mobile. It's either going to be end of the inning or a run scoring for the Orioles. It's going to be a run score.
Houston's got one left.
3 consecutive walks for Peter Lambert. Walks in a run. So many near misses for this third out of the inning. Now the pitch count really elevating here in the third. Samuel Basayo skies one into shallow center. Lucas Spence coming on. So is Lamont Wade Jr. It's going to be the rookie in his debut. Puts it away for the final out. A hit and 3 walks. The Orioles have tied it at 1.
Is tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the third. Lauren Callender here with your Jack in the Box dugout report. And now that the second half of the season is officially underway following Sunday's series finale against the Rangers, veteran Christian Walker shared an encouraging perspective on where this club stands 64 games remaining in this season. First and foremost, he said he's proud of the way this club finished the first 98 games. He explained that one of the club's goals all season has been to improve month after month, believing that if they continue trending in the right direction, they'll put themselves in a good position by the end of the year. He also pointed out just how quickly things can change over the course of a season, referencing his time in Arizona when explaining that he knows firsthand that any team can catch fire at the right time. As for what makes this club dangerous to him, he believes their biggest weapon is their confidence, saying this offense is capable of putting up runs quick.
Jeremy Pena hoping to put up a quick run here in the third as he scored in the first inning after a walk. He goes after the first pitch from Kramer and singles into center to lead things off. Astros having their leadoff runner on all 3 innings. And it's always good to get a runner on base when this guy comes to the plate.
Pretty bold statement by Christian Walker, saying they can get off to some quick starts in games when this guy's hitting second every day.
Jordan almost put one out to left center his last time up. Hit high off the wall in left center for an RBI double, and this time he takes a slow curveball for a strike. 0-1.
No, but it's good to hear there's a belief in that clubhouse. You've got some veterans leading the way. If they continue to get on base and continue to get those big hits, could be interesting down the stretch. But Dana Brown mentioned it. A lot of it is based on that starting rotation.
That was an awkward delivery from Kramer. He kind of lost his step in his delivery and fell off the mound.
Oh, it caught a heel when that leg came down. Seen that a couple of times throughout the course of the season. Going to that big leg kick and they start to drive downhill with that lead leg, and if that anything is interrupted, it makes it awkward.
Jordan started the day trailing by 4 points in the batting race. Now he leads by 5. As Yandy Diaz is playing a doubleheader against the Red Sox. It doesn't have a hit yet.
Doubleheader out of the break? Oof.
Day night.
Gotta get those tickets, TK.
So Jordan now at 320, Yandy at 315, and Jordan leads in home runs and RBI, so he's got the triple crown right now.
How about some hot cold zones as far as slug for Jordan Alvarez? He can get you at the top of the zone, middle, but pretty much covers everything from the belt down. And that first double was a sinker down in the zone, smashed the other way. And when Jordan's hitting the ball with power to that opposite field gap, that could mean big things. Getting on a nice run. base hit, run scored in the All-Star game. All the guy does is hit.
7 for 11 now in his last 4 games. He had 3 straight multi-hit games in that series in Arlington. He already got 1 hit here in this game as he bats for the 2nd time.
You know how FIFA took down the signage on Jerry's World across the street? I think FIFA called and said, you need to take the T off that stadium and just put a big Y.
That's a base hit into the right field. Going first to third will be Pena. He'll get there easily without a throw. Yordan Alvarez 2 for 2 coming out of the All-Star break.
I wish I could say it gets old, but this guy's a really good hitter. I don't get tired talking about it. I don't get tired about watching it. That's a really good breaking ball. Slow breaking ball at about 75, 76 miles an hour. And they wanted that pitch down below the zone. Yordan said, that's all right. I had plenty of time to see it, and I'm going to pick my spot where to put it. And he pulls it into right field to make it first and third.
That puts him up to 322, now leading by 7 points in the batting race to go along with the home run and RBI race. Isaac Paredes had a base hit his first time up. Bats with the infield back here, first and third, nobody out. I don't remember any start by Dean Kramer against the Astros where they have had better at bats than tonight.
100% agreement with that.
That ball.
Wow.
That's an Isaac.
I missed that. That's incredible.
He hits foul balls in the upper deck in left field like no one else.
And there's some dad up there that said, hey, I got tickets to the game, but they're up in the upper deck. They're kind of down the line. All of a sudden you come home with a foul ball. You're like, Dad, you're the best.
Sounds like, wait a sec, I'm here. Got a shot. 0-2 the count to Paredes. Isaac punched one into right field his first time up.
That was a really good piece of hitting as well. Took a cutter off the outside edge and just punched it the other way.
This is kind of where Isaac gets into his zen zone when he gets down in the count 0-2.
That's a lot of fly balls. You've got a runner at third, less than 2, but I'm with you. Just seems kind of unfazed and kind of enjoys being in some of these tough counts sometimes.
More than anybody maybe in the league, he does not get phased. That ball into right field is going to score a run. You would think Dylan Beavers makes the catch, and he won't even attempt to throw with Pena running down the line. Paredes gets down to the count. Still drives in a run. It's 2-1 Astros as they retake the lead.
And this is kind of what makes the Astros offense interesting. Yeah, you're going to rely on Yordan for a lot of those long balls. But if you can go ahead and play some team offense, like Yordan moving Jeremy Pena all the way to third base, Jeremy's speed and hustle getting him into scoring position less than 2. But these guys have been doing a good job of picking up those runs. Sounds crazy to say, but those should be easy RBIs for hitters in this lineup.
Now 1 out runner on first for Christian Walker, who struck out his first time up. Walker playing against his original team. He debuted with the Orioles back in 2014. Only played in 13 games for Baltimore between 14 and 15 before spending the majority of his career with the Diamondbacks. This is that fastball. It's 1-1. Astros starting off their post All-Star break schedule with the Baltimore Orioles. Marlins come to town beginning on Monday. 3 teams tied for that final spot in the wild card picture, in the Orioles and the Astros both within a couple of games. Astros within 1.5, Orioles within 2. Astros started the night 3 games behind the Mariners. There's 3 games behind the Rangers in the AL West. Walker down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight, 2nd out of the inning. Time to take a look at tonight's Chevy Stropole. The post All-Star break portion of the schedule, last 64 games, which Astros regular needs to have an All-Star performance in the last 64 for the team to play in the postseason. A, this guy Jose Altuve. B, Hunter Brown. C, Cam Smith. D, Christian Walker. Go to @SpaceCityHN. Use the hashtag Stropole. Results later in the broadcast. Altuve grounded into a double play his first time up as he takes a pitch off the plate for ball 1. Just clips the edge and the count evens up. Jose starting the post All-Star break schedule with 2,455 career hits. Tied with Jimmy Rollins, who was present and active at the All-Star festivities in Philadelphia. He and J-Roll tied for 116th on the all-time list with 2,455. Just 45 more to get to 2,500 before season's end. Should be able to do that with 64 games remaining. This one in the air to center. Backing up is Colton Cowser near the edge of the warning track, and he'll put it away for the final out. Astros do get a run. Jeremy Pena scored twice, and the Astros lead 2-1.
$10,000 fans will receive an Orbit keychain this Sunday. Get your tickets now at astros.com/promotions. TK.
All right, LC, thank you. We head to the 4th inning with the Astros regaining that lead 2-1. Dylan Beavers, who got called out on strikes his first time up, leads off. And he goes after the first pitch and misses 0-1. Peter Lambert issuing 3 consecutive walks last inning to the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. There was a string of games earlier in the season, kind of up until the beginning of June, where he was walking guys at a clip that he wasn't real happy with. And then he went 2 straight starts without a walk. Said, I really want to focus on throwing strikes. Last 2 starts in July before tonight, only 1 walk in each of those. So kind of unusual to see him revert back with those 3 consecutive walks last inning. There weren't big misses, but misses nonetheless.
Yeah, credit to Baltimore for laying off some of those pitches on the edges. They did a very good job of making him work. He ramped his pitch count up.
And we talked about it briefly with Dana Brown, and it's a pretty interesting subject that he basically had the rights to go anywhere else he wanted other than the Astros when he was not on the opening day roster.
Yeah.
He said, you know what, I like it here. I like what they're telling me. I like this organization. I'm staying.
And I love the fact that those conversations are being made between Peter Lambert being open-minded, expressing his concerns, and then the Astros, on the other hand, being really honest with him and encouraging him to stay inside the organization. But could you imagine with the injuries that happened to that rotation early in the season and Peter Lambert was somewhere else? Probably wouldn't be in this position right now.
Swing and a miss. Lambert picking up a strikeout. That's 5, getting Beavers for the 2nd time. 1 away in the 4th.
Looked like a good heater away. Got him with a changeup in the previous at bat on some edgy pitches. This one right here, swing and miss on the fastball.
That heater plays, it becomes more overpowering because of the changeup.
It has to be something the way the fastball plays off that changeup. Because you look at the splits, and it's obvious with the low batting average, low OPS against Peter Lambert. But then you start to look at four-seam fastball batting average against, and it's in $130. That's what makes it incredible. But I'm with you. I think you're right in the sense that the changeup, where you know most guys, you say the fastball sets up the changeup, but it feels like his changeup sets up the fastball.
This ball hit sharply into right field for a base hit. That was off the changeup by former Cy Ranch High School player Colton Cowser for a base hit. Now a message from Buick GMC. So just the second base hit for the Orioles tonight. That was the first by a left-handed hitter. Here's the guy who had the other hit, Kobe Mayo. Pitch up and in. It's 1-0. Orioles suffered a tough injury right before the All-Star break as they lost Blaze Alexander, who was hit by a pitch and will be out for a while for Baltimore. That's a called strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1.
It's a good thing Kobe Mayo didn't pull the trigger on that tap of the helmet.
He thought about it.
With good reason.
Both teams have lost one challenge so far. And I do feel like once you get that first challenge away from your team early, you're a little reluctant to pull the trigger in the fourth inning just in case you're done for the rest of the game.
I'm with you, and you can tell these guys are tentative, both ball clubs.
Mayo down in the count, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Lambert. 2 this inning, 6 in the game. Lambert gets Mayo for the second out.
Kept going to that sweeper against Mayo. Just hanging around, hovering around that edge. Forced the swing.
Now Jackson Holliday, who struck out his first time up. By the way, the Astros made 2 roster moves today, with Lucas Spence making his major league debut, added to the roster with Bryce Matthews going on the IL. Matthews sprained a knee attempting to catch a ball near the wall in center field in Texas, in Arlington. Came down awkwardly, so Bryce will be out for a little while. And also Kaiwei Dung is back. He'll be in the bullpen for the Astros after rehabbing a couple of times. There's Bryce. What a great effort that was on the play he got hurt.
Oh man, he sold out, threw his body up against that wall, almost made a miraculous catch, but unfortunately didn't stick the landing.
Dung, who was starting to get to that point of his innings pitch total where they're getting uncomfortable, probably needed a breather anyhow, so now he'll work out of the bullpen. Now the count 0-2 on Holliday. Cowser 4 of 6 in steals. Lambert has disengaged twice. So Cowser might have a lengthier lead here with 2 outs and 2 strikes. He goes, and the pitch is grounded into the vacated spot by Pena. Nice piece of hitting by Holliday. And now the Orioles with runners on first and third.
Really was a good piece of hitting by Holliday. finding that vacated spot by Jeremy Payne. You see playing in that pole position, but he was in coverage on the stolen base, and with the runner going, he vacated. And Holiday just slapped it through the empty space.
So 2 hits in this inning. And Lambert working with a runner at third base and first base with 2 outs. Connor Henderson, the batter, he has flied the line to center field and also popped to shortstop. Off the plate, ball 1. Chase to pitch up. Lambert getting ahead 1-2. Runner goes from first, doesn't matter. That's a strikeout to end the inning. Lambert strikes out 3 in the 4th, has 7 in the game, and keeps the Astros in front 2-1.
The Shiners spotlight falls on the Astros outfield and what this group was able to accomplish on the club's final road trip before the break. Across 3 games in Washington and 3 more in Arlington, the Astros outfield combined for 11 RBIs, scored 15 runs, and posted an .841 OPS. Interestingly, this group has produced at a much higher level on the road this season. And entering tonight, Cam Smith is hitting .302 away from Dyken Park compared to his .181 at home. Lamont Wade Jr. owns a .313 road average while batting just .188 at home. Bryce Matthews' home and road splits tell a very similar story as well. But now with the addition of Lucas Spence to that outfield crew, guys, Joe Espada said he's someone who can hopefully provide a spark to the offense, pointing to the way he's been hitting the ball hard and making good swing decisions. So the Astros are hoping this recent road success from the outfielders can start carrying over to Dyken Park as well. And of course, this new addition to the outfield group too. Plummer.
Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm glad we had Dana Brown up here and kind of put the idea in front of him of these outfielders are good. They're really good on the road. Trying to figure out what's going on here at home is kind of interesting, and I'm sure they're all trying to crack the code, much like the players are as well. But you've got to find a way to get these guys going, and hopefully they use that all-star break in a positive way to kind of reset the body and reset the mind. It is kind of interesting that you only have about 66 games to go.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to prepare for the, well, at least in baseball terms, you don't have to prepare for the marathon. That part's over. Now you've got the last couple of miles and you can go ahead and sprint it towards the end and rack up some numbers and W's.
Yeah, in marathon lingo, the Astros have more water breaks than anybody else, if you will, because they've played the most games. They have played 98 coming into today. Only Colorado had played 98 at the All-Star break. So the Astros have basically a day off every week, all the way until September. This ball hit off the end of the bat. Lamont Wade Jr. with another full count. Kind of spun that one off the end of his bat right to the pitcher, Dean Kramer, for out number 1. The Astros have done a good job, though, against Kramer in elevating the pitch count as we sit here in the 4th inning, and he is approaching 80 pitches. Cam Smith had a full count his last time up before he struck out. Kramer in his 2 starts since coming off the IL has gone 79 pitches and 92 pitches in his last start. That one catches the outside corner, 0-1. Cam had a big home run Sunday against the Rangers. Looked like it was going to be a game winner and series winner for the Houston Astros, but to the Rangers' credit, they came back and scored a run in the 8th and a run in the 9th after Cam put them ahead 5-4 with a home run at the top of the 8th. Smith down to the count here, 0-2. Cam headed to the break with 12 home runs and 9 stolen bases. Down on 3 pitches here is the strikeout for Kramer's, his 5th of the night.
All In All the Time is presented by Daly and Black, and here is Lucas Spence. This will be his 2nd plate appearance. He walked in that previous one with his general manager up in the booth with us, and he was impressed. Non-drafted free agent, able to sign and make his way to the big leagues is a pretty good story.
And so far, Blummer, we've seen him take pitches off the plate. Just no angst up there. He's really been patient so far in taking pitches.
It has been very impressive because you would get a little giddy once you get that call and get the opportunity. But at the same time, you've got Dean Kramer just flipping breaking ball after breaking ball up there.
Spence is the 7th Astro to make his debut in 2026. And hits the ball on the ground on one hop to Jackson Holliday, who makes the play. Kramer has his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. We're through 4 here at Dyken Park with the Astros leading 2-1.
Believe it, Naruto night is Wednesday, July 22nd. Get the exclusive add-on ticket to score a limited edition Jeremy Pena Naruto-inspired bobblehead while supplies last. Visit Astros.com/Naruto.
5th inning baseball. Astros lead at 2-1. Our aerial coverage of the Wire Cam brought to you by our partners at Defy on a Friday night where fans will enjoy fireworks afterwards. Peter Lambert on the mound for his 5th inning of work. We have seen Lucas Spence in his big league debut walk and ground out. He's also made a couple of plays in center field, and our own Lauren Callender standing by with some family members. Elsie.
Hey guys, we were just talking. I'm with Lucas's father, Thomas, his sister Alice, and he was just talking to me. The nerves are coming back a little bit now that I've sat down next to him. But I wanted to talk to you, Thomas, a little bit about Lucas being called up, making his debut here today. He told me earlier that he got the call while he was out fishing with you. And that to me is just the epitome of a father-son relationship, out fishing, and he gets the call to the majors. Can you talk to me about that experience and the emotions in that moment?
Well, yeah, it was really fortunate to be with him right at the moment when he was notified that he got called up. And we just concluded fishing, was driving down the road, and, you know, he looked at his phone and said, "Oh, the manager's calling me," and, you know, then he told them, and we were both excited and celebrating and just enjoying it, really enjoying it.
He told me he was a little nervous when he saw Mickey Story's name. Did you kind of know in the back of your mind, oh, this might be the call?
Well, I thought when they put him up to AAA, if he hit well enough, maybe they'd call him up after the break, the All-Star break. But during when we were on the water fishing, he was worried about possibly being lumped into a trade. So that was on his mind more so than actually moving up. He thought maybe the call was a trade. So, but we're happy that he gets this opportunity for sure.
Absolutely. Joe Espada told me earlier today that he thinks Lucas is a guy that can really add a spark to this lineup, especially in the outfield there. You as his father know his game probably better than anyone. What can we expect from Lucas as a player?
Well, he will always play the game hard, and his entire life he's played the game to win. He wants to be on a winning team, and he strives to play hard and win, play to win for the team. not necessarily for him, but for the team.
Absolutely. Allison, I want to talk to you a little bit. As his sister, I'm sure you are just so proud in this moment. You've probably watched his whole career, but where does this stand for you and rank among moments that you've watched in your brother's career?
This is the top. He's worked so hard, and he's such a quiet, hard worker. You know, he's not a showboater. He's nice and quiet. He works so hard, and we're so happy for him and proud that his biggest dream has now come true.
What has the last 24, 48 hours been like? I know some of your family just got up and left, but for you to get the news and get here, what's the last 48 hours been like?
I mean, so exciting, a little surprising, but obviously we're so excited and so proud of him. We want him to do so well, and we know he will.
Thank you, Allison. Thomas, I have one more question for you. As an undrafted free agent, Lucas has had to earn every single moment of this career. Sitting here tonight, watching him play in this game, what does it say about his work ethic, determination, and drive to get to this point?
He's always said, I just want a chance. I want a shot at it, and just give me an opportunity, and I'm going to make the most of it. And he's just done it time after time. I'm really proud of him.
Amazing. Congratulations on this moment, Dad. Guys.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Always good to hear from the family members, and congrats again to Lucas Spence. Pretty cool. His dad and Lucas were fishing, and we got the call from Mickey Story.
Yeah, that's got to be a rarity. But to actually be in the vehicle with your dad when you get that call, that's amazing.
Because everybody's always like, I got to call my family first. And then he was already with his family during the All-Star break.
You call him Dad.
Peter Lambert rolling along. 1-2-3 inning. That's 8 punchies for Peter Lambert. It's a 2-1 Astros lead halfway home. Houston Astros baseball on SCHN is presented by Bravo Nissan in Baytown. We are champions. We are Bravo. By Uber Eats. Game day cravings? Order Wing Bay on Uber Eats now. And by TxDOT. TxDOT reminds fans that speeding can throw you a curveball. Slow down. Be safe. Drive smart.
Back here inside Daikin Park. It is the bottom of the 5th. Fans loading up as they watch this ball game. Christian Vasquez stepping into a new pitcher. The Astros have knocked Dean Kramer out. Ramped up that pitch count quickly. They're going to see Anthony Nunez, rookie right-hander with a 5.06 ERA, gets a lot of whiffs with that sweeper. And he's 5th amongst American League rookies with 34 appearances.
Well, Nunez will face the 9-1-2 hitters here in the 5th. Astros leading 2-1. Vasquez striking out his first time up. Dots up the outside corner with that fastball.
The batter's challenging.
Vasquez lost a challenge as a catcher earlier, now challenging one as a hitter on a pitch that he thought was off the plate. ABS powered by T-Mobile will show you that Vasquez
Houston's out of challenges.
is now down 2 challenges tonight, so the Astros do not have any more remaining. Christian 4 for 8 as a hitter in challenges this year as he fouls one off the top of the netting and is down to the count 1-2. The Astros here in the bottom of the 5th inning will go the rest of the way unless the game goes extras without a challenge remaining.
Yeah, plenty of game left.
Off the end of the bat. Christian will tell you in hindsight, maybe not the wisest time to challenge early in a count, early in an inning. In a 2-1 game in the 5th. It's off the plate, 2-2. Nunez originally was with the New York Mets. Acquired in a trade for Cedric Mullins at the trade deadline last year. How about this little fillet shot? Oh, nice catch by Jackson Holliday. He went to the top of his webbing to make that play. as it looked like Vasquez was going to loop one into right.
Yeah, almost had a chance, but Holiday chased that one down. Got a good jump on it, and the last little leap at the end takes it out of the sky.
Good play by Jackson. Now here's Jeremy Pena. Pena has scored both runs for the Astros. He walked and scored on a Yordan Alvarez double. And then singled and scored on an Isaac Paredes sacrifice fly. This one's fouled out of play. It's 0-1. Swing, says Brian O'Nora, putting Pena down in the count 0-2. There's that sweeper that gets so many swings and misses, but Jeremy laid off it. 52.4% whiff rate.
It's quite a bit. Throws it a ton too, 30% of the time.
Best in all of baseball. He'll probably try and go back out there, you would think.
Yeah.
See if Pena could be patient. That sweeper was in play, and that's going to be a foul ball. Play made by Mayo, but stays 1-2. Nunez has one of the most interesting backgrounds coming into the big leagues in that he was drafted by the Padres in 2019 as an infielder. But then he qualified for amateur deregulation and then ended up, after playing a couple of seasons with the Padres, going back to school and went to University of Tampa.
Yep.
Became a two-way player there.
Pretty impressive. Just find a way, huh?
And then drafted as a pitcher out of University of Tampa. Here he is in the big leagues for the first time in 2026.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Drafted as an infielder, went to college after that as a two-way player, then drafted as a pitcher, and now at the big leagues for the first time. Still just 24 years old.
I would imagine there's not too many guys out there that can say they were drafted as a position player and a pitcher.
Right.
Man, I'd be all over the clubhouse going, boys. I drafted twice, once as a shortstop, once as a pitcher.
Pretty wild. Here he is at the big league level facing Jeremy Pena. That's a good take by Jeremy. That's that sweeper that gets a lot of swing and miss. It's 3-2. Into center, Colton Cowser going back, still going back. He's on the warning track as he puts this one away. Pena gave it a ride, but he's out number 2. League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. You talk about the last 5 American League Triple Crown winners. You go back to 2012 for Miguel Cabrera, then Carl Yastrzemski prior to that. That was back-to-back seasons where Frank Robinson won in '66 and Yaz in '67. Prior to that, the greats Mickey Mantle and Ted Williams did the trick. Crazy part about the Miggy Cabrera 2012 Triple Crown, from research from our producer Carl Patterson, was where he stood at the All-Star break, because he was trailing by a good margin in home runs and in RBIs. He was 10th at the All-Star break in home runs in his Triple Crown season.
It's amazing. I mean, just went on an absolute tear on the second half.
Right now, as we play game 99 of the season, Yordan is leading all 3 categories, but Miggy had to go on a great run to pass Josh Hamilton in home runs and RBIs.
What a remarkable season. Triple Crown and MVP.
So far, Nunez has not been interested in throwing Yordan a strike. It's 3-0. this point, if you're a pitcher, are you going to throw him a strike? Or if you throw him a strike, is it going to be an edgy one where you hope he can't do any damage? Kind of an edgy one. 3-1.
Well, Jordan is so disciplined and so good that he probably just, I'm not going to swing 3-0. I'm going to see if he's going to throw it to me 3-1, and then we'll see if he throws it again. But he's got him timed up, I would imagine. But he's not going to see the same pitch back to back.
That was a very careful at bat there as Jordan draws his 64th walk of the year. So here's the thing with the Triple Crown race is you see the guys behind him in home runs and RBIs. Behind Yandy Diaz, there's nobody else in the American League hitting 300. So right now it's those two Cuban-born players that are battling it out. Somebody obviously can make a run like Miggy Cabrera did, but right now those are Yandy's the only guy he has to worry about at this point in the batting average race.
Yep.
And he's got it by 8 points right now after being down 4 when the day started.
That's amazing how quickly that batting average number can move around. He has just been the model of consistency.
Yandy Diaz went 0 for the doubleheader today at Fenway Park. By the way, the Red Sox winning both games of that doubleheader have now won 11 in a row.
And they're just ahead of the Astros and Orioles.
The Boston Red Sox have moved to 500 during this 11-game winning streak. They're now 48 and 48. They were dead in the water.
Oh, first month of the season.
Broken bat looper, and Alonso got a good jump and snags that to end the inning. 1 walk, 1 left on. We're through 5 here with the Astros leading 2-1.
And for the Astros starters is to go 5 or more innings. When they do, the record is 37 and 25. The run differential benefits the Astros, and the bullpen benefits as well. If they go less than 5, and Joe really has to stretch that bullpen out and put some guys in some tough spots, the numbers not quite as good. That record drops to 10 and 26, and that's the biggest thing, and that's why we have been talking about that starting rotation. Hopefully getting some guys back healthy and getting Hunter Brown back in rhythm, but Peter Lambert has been able to give them plenty of innings in his starts.
Yeah, Peter has pitched into the 5th inning in every start this year. He's only had 2 starts less than 5. Now was 4 1/3 innings against the same Orioles back on April 30th in game 1 of a doubleheader, when they put a lot of pitches on him, as Blummer mentioned earlier, 91 and 4 1/3. The other one was a start in Toronto where he went 4 2/3 innings. Same kind of thing, where he threw a lot of pitches to get those 14 outs against the Blue Jays. Those are his only 2 outings of less than 5 innings. So he's gone 5 innings or more in now 14 of 16 starts, including tonight. And he does have bullpen action going as he starts this inning with 83 pitches. Gets that strike at the bottom of the zone. Samuel Basayo is going to challenge this.
The batter's challenging.
Basayo, a catcher, but also DHs a lot. Orioles have 1 challenge remaining. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Both teams out of challenges.
Baltimore's out of challenges.
Both teams have used up their challenges. Astros in the bottom of the 5th, Orioles top of the 6th.
Man, some big misses too, and Eric Bacchus is about to open it up.
There's no recourse if he does.
Nobody's going to challenge anything.
2-2 pitches, grounded foul. Luis Vasquez feels a little better. A catcher at the plate just missed one as a hitter, just like he did. But it is Steven Okert warming up in the Astros pen. There's.
Wait, what?
First call, Steve.
First call after the break, Steve Okert.
That went off the plate, 3-2. Just stayed alive on that changeup. Astros scoring a run in the 1st and a run in the 3rd. Orioles got their run on a single and then 3 consecutive walks with 2 outs. Basayo skied to center to end that inning. Pops this one way up by the rafters. Hopefully doesn't hit the roof. Nobody sees it. And now Christian Vasquez does, and he can't make the play. Nobody could see that baseball. At least Christian Walker couldn't. Vasquez was the only one that saw it, and he couldn't get down the line in time. Did that hit the roof?
I think that's what Christian's asking. It's not this roof here at Dyken Park is not a roof where you lose the baseball. So I'm wondering if it did get up there high enough to rattle around with some of the girders up there, but would have been interesting if that thing landed fair.
Yeah. Vasquez just couldn't get down the line. It didn't look like he saw it well the whole time either. Walker never
saw it the best was Peter Lambert. It looked like he was in the vicinity.
Walker's still looking up like, how did I lose that? Yeah, I think Lambert was the only one that saw it the whole way.
Yeah.
He was hoping for that out. Now it's 3-2. And a ground ball foul. There's been a lot of near misses on outs. They could have gotten out of the inning with a tag play at second. He could have gotten out of the inning on a back pick at first. Didn't get out of that inning until a run scored. And then this inning, a pop-up that extends this at bat by a couple of pitches.
That's a really good point.
So Lambert's probably not going to finish 6 tonight, but could have easily finished 6 with a little bit of help along the way.
Well, Basayo's not doing him any favors. He's got 11 pitches in this at bat. Foul ball after foul ball.
12th pitch. Another 3-2 coming.
Could have walked about 4 times.
Got him. That matches a career high for Peter Lambert. 9 strikeouts, his most as an Astro, and the most since he was a Colorado Rocky against the Cubs back in 2019.
Went old-fashioned right here with a heater inside. 96. So that arm feeling pretty good.
More than 7 years ago, Lambert set his strikeout record on June 6th of 2019. Now here he is after a year in Japan and a number of years with the Rockies beyond that rookie season, picking up 9 strikeouts again. He's never had double digits in strikeouts, but he's got an opportunity here as his pitch count approaches 100. Threw a lot of pitches in his last start against the Rangers. Career high 107 that game. No recourse for Beavers on that pitch. It's called a strike. It's 1-2.
Wow. Wow. That was a good one.
Lambert proving to be a workhorse coming off that career high 107. He'll make his 98th pitch here with a 1-2 count. Did have 5 days of rest in between starts. Oh, in and out of the glove of Vasquez.
Heater still got some good life to it too. A couple of 95, 96 in this inning.
Beavers has struck out looking and struck out swinging.
Gutsy take.
Yeah, we're old school baseball now.
Oh man. Going turn of the century.
Strike
zone right here.
Strike zone is what Eric Baca says it is. Swing and a miss. 10 strikeouts for the first time in Peter Lambert's career as he strikes out Beavers for a 3rd time.
Time now for some Astros trivia powered by Reliant. Peter Lambert was the 2nd pick of the 2nd round of the 2015 Major League Baseball draft. Who did the Astros choose 2 picks later? Astros trivia powered by Reliant.
Lambert setting a career high in strikeouts, getting the first strike on Colton Cowser. He's had an inning earlier where he struck out 3. Got a couple of hits in the mix in the 4th inning. Now he's got a chance to strike out the side here in the 6th. And he's ahead of Cowser 0-2. And you gotta love what Lambert's done this year.
It's incredible. It's fun to watch.
Fans on Friday night usually get into the game pretty well. I imagine if Lambert finishes off this inning with a K, they will give him a huge ovation on his way out, knowing this is his last inning. Career high 107 last time. Pitch number 103 here. Popped in the air. Still a great outing as Lamont Wade Jr. comes in to make the play. 6 innings, a 1-run baseball with a career high 10 strikeouts. Peter Lambert continues his great 26th season.
On authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Astros, the official source for your Houston Astros gear. TK?
All right, Lauren, we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Christian Walker, happy Dean Kramer's out of there. Walker struggled against Kramer in his 2 at-bats, now facing the reliever Anthony Nunez. Nunez worked around a 2-out walk to Yordan Alvarez when it didn't look like he was very encouraged to throw a strike to Yordan. It'll be Christian and then Jose Altuve and Lamont Wade Jr. Walker down on the count here, 0-2. It's that sweeper that we mentioned has the highest whip rate in the major leagues. No strikeouts for Nunez in his first inning of work, but he's ahead of Walker here, 0-2. Lays off the fastball up, it's 1-2. Dean Kramer went 4 innings tonight, in danger of losing his first game ever to the Houston Astros. In 6 starts, he was 4-0 coming into tonight, but left with his team down 2-1. Just enough to stay alive on that sweeper. Stays 1-2. Tried to lay off and no swings as Brian O'Nora. It's 2-2.
All right. Live to fight another pitch.
Oh, man. That's a check swing, and that's going to be a hit by pitch. As that hit him on the hand on a check swing, they appealed to first. And O'Nora said no swing, as Bacchus explains to the Orioles dugout, and that's going to be a hit by pitch on a pitch riding in on his hands.
96. All right, in on the hands. You see it right here on Matches from Supermo. He brings the hands around and it hits that top hand.
Hit the hand and then hit the bat.
Yeah.
That was an uncomfortable at bat the whole time for Walker, and he gets on base in a painful way. Eric Velasquez, head athletic trainer for the Astros, out to check on Christian. Looks like they're looking at the ring finger and pinky finger on his right hand. Seems to be okay.
Yeah, that's going to hurt for a little bit.
Couple of National League foes for years. Pete Alonso and Christian Walker battling for all-star spots. Now Jose Altuve bats for the 3rd time. Altuve cues one back to the mound, dropped by Nunez. He's able to go to first. It gets Altuve there. Walker advances to second. Probably would have had a double play if he fielded it cleanly. Instead, 1 out. Montway Jr. bats. He's had long at bats today. Helped get Dean Kramer out of the game after 4 innings because saw a lot of pitches in 2 plate appearances. A walk and a ground out back to the mound. Takes a pitch here. That's the 14th pitch he's seen tonight. It's 1-0. Pitch missing in. It's 2-0. Again, no recourse. Lamont thought that might have been off the plate. It's 2-1. Lamont will give you a good at bat. He's not a guy that really extends the zone very much. Both teams out of challenges here. Good take, pitch down, and Wade has another 3-ball count for the 3rd time tonight. On the ground, foul. Oh, look out.
Man, collision.
Brian O'Nora ready to make the call, and Alonso was ready to run him over. The polar bear attacked.
It did. Now trying to sneak it down the line, and Alonso not giving up on that foul ball, trying to go through Brian O'Nora. It's a lot of mass.
That's another walk for Lamont. No, and I was asking Dana Brown earlier about whether Lamont Wade Jr. could be the guy that is looked at as an acquisition as a left-handed hitting outfielder. A couple of years ago when he was with the Giants, if you would have got him at the trade deadline, you would have said, all right, that's our left-hand hitting outfielder. Yep. Things have not gone as well for Lamont since he left the Giants, but here he is, kind of second go-round at the big league level, similar to Peter Lambert, where this might be an opportunity for him to really make an impact on this Astros team. And who knows, they may still get a left-hand hitting outfielder at the trade deadline, but if they do not, Lamont's done a nice job in 11 games now with Houston.
No, it really seems like he's found new life here. I remember watching him with the Giants going, man, this guy's a nice piece right here. I think he has a future in this game, but obviously things work out a little bit differently when you start moving from organization to organization, but it seems like the Astros have really taken an interest to him and are giving him that opportunity here to play every day. So hopefully it does turn into that brilliant acquisition to be able to help this ball club out. And even if they do pick up somebody to put in that outfield, you still got a threat off the bench in Lamont Wade.
Yeah, and there's still, I mean, center field still position in flux right now.
Yeah, the outfield feels very pliable except for right field.
Here's Cam Smith, speaking of right fielders. That's who Blummer was talking about. Cam playing pretty much every day in right, 97th game of the year. He and Christian Walker and Yordan Alvarez lead the team in games played. Cam also another guy happy to see somebody other than Dean Kramer. He struck out twice against Dean today. That's a line drive, but at the third baseman, Walker is doubled off second as Mayo makes the play back to Holiday to end the inning. Cam hit it off the end of the bat, and the line drive turns into 2, and that'll do it for the Astros in the 6th. Hit by pitch, a walk and 1 man left on. It's 2-1 Astros heading to the 7th.
Presented by Honda. We're talking Peter Lambert, another start in which Lambert gave his team 6 innings and a big chance to win tonight. Outside from another great overall start, Lambert set a career high in strikeouts, reaching double digits for the first time in his career. 10 total tonight for Peter. He set his previous record of 9, as you guys mentioned earlier, 7 years ago. So a big achievement here tonight on another exceptional outing, Blummer.
It was outstanding, given the Astros' length, putting them in position to win. Joe Espada going to that bullpen. First one out, of course, is going to be Stephen Okert. He's got beautiful numbers, 2.31 ERA, and that whip, it's 0.84.
First pitch strike to Kobe Mayo. As Okert takes over here in the 7th, Mayo scoring the only run for the Orioles after he singled and stole a base and scored with a bases loaded walk to Pete Alonso to tie the game at 1. He also struck out, one of 10 strikeouts for Lambert, eclipsing his career high that he set back in 2019 in his rookie season. Mayo down in the count, 0-2. Mayo is very good against left-hand pitching. In fact, nobody has a higher OPS against lefties than Mayo in the major leagues at 1,092.
His slug alone is 726 against lefties.
Okert trying to defy those numbers here as he's ahead of the count 1-2. face Mayo, then a couple of lefties, Jackson Holliday and Gunnar Henderson. Mayo has 21 of his 44 hits on the season as extra base hits, 9 doubles and 12 home runs. Strike 3 called, and that'll be the first out as Okert picks up a strikeout to start his outing. 11 strikeouts for Astros pitching.
Slider's been so tough against opposing hitters. Stephen Okert. This one just bends right back down over the middle part of the plate, but down. Mayo just couldn't pull the trigger.
I thought there'd be 2 lefties batting after Mayo, but they're going to go to a pinch hitter here. Jeremiah Jackson will pinch hit for Jackson Holliday. Jackson waves at the slider. It's 0-1. So Holliday, who had one of the 3 hits allowed by Peter Lambert, now facing the lefty Okert here. That one down for a ball, 1-1. Four pinch hits for Jackson this year, lead the Orioles in that category. Fouls one back to the screen, 1-2. Christian Walker stayed in the game after being hit by a pitch, but it wasn't before he left the field momentarily. Sometimes as a runner left on base, you stay out there and wait for your glove, but Walker went back to the dugout to get checked on by head athletic trainer Eric Velasquez in between innings. Walker obviously good enough to go back out there, but he's, as Blummer said, probably going to feel that one for a little while. Swing and a miss. Okert picking up a strikeout with the fastball. How about Oak? 2 batters, 2 strikeouts, 2 away in the 7th. Let's get to know the Baltimore Orioles, presented by Gallery Furniture. And the Orioles, through the draft, have built the current lineup to where it is today. Adley Rutschman, obviously the #1 overall pick out of Oregon State in 2019, but they've added so many top picks through the years, Blummer.
5 of those guys were in the lineup in tonight's game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice little homegrown action for the Baltimore Orioles, getting these guys into the lineup, getting them to the big leagues and contributing. A couple of years ago, winning up, they're a 100-win ball club. They've regressed a little bit, so they're trying to find that sweet spot to get these guys going all together again, because they kind of splashed on the scene about 2024, 2023, where they really kind of lit up the American League East, but still maybe trying to figure out who they are. But that is a lot of high-round picks having an impact here at the big leagues.
I think going into this pre-All-Star break winning streak, they were trying to figure things out, kind of like the Boston Red Sox. Are we sellers? Are we buyers? Yeah. Now all of a sudden they're back in the mix with that 4-game winning streak. But had they lost those 4 games, Mike Elias and a lot of former Astros front office staff might think about the possibility of being sellers. But I think it's going to be a trade deadline filled with buying teams and very few sellers, just based on the standings.
I agree.
Maybe you'll see teams trade within the major league rosters to try and improve a deficiency on one side that helps your team on another. We'll see. Dana Brown obviously wouldn't tip his hand. He was getting some phone calls, though, while we had him in the booth.
Yeah, they might have been asking him about mortgages or trying to get a part of his inheritance or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, scam calls?
I'm just kidding. That's why I could never be a GM. I'd answer everything. I'd be like, who?
How about that little English off the bat? Okert with another fine inning, 2 strikeouts and a comebacker. Stephen Okert continues to lead the team in games pitched and continues to pitch very well this year. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Astros leading 2-1. 7th inning presented by Texas Mattress Makers. An all-star for the team to make the postseason, and almost half of the votes go to that guy, the Diesel. Hunter Brown getting 48% of the votes. Altuve gets 26%. Christian Walker and Cam Smith got a fair share as well, thanks to those who voted in tonight's Stroh poll. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Astros up 2-1 and a new pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles.
It's going to be a lefty coming out of that pen for the Baltimore Orioles. You're looking at Grant Wolfram. He is the only lefty in that bullpen for the Baltimore Orioles. 4.76 is his ERA. Opponents are hitting .302 against his sinker, but the four-seam fastball a little bit better. They're 2 for 19 against it.
First batter he faces, Lucas Spence, and there's his first big league base hit. Lucas Spence saved the baseball. Welcome to the big leagues.
Great moment for Lucas, great moment for the family. Joe Espada showing the faith in the young man, putting him in there left on left. He gets that sinker and splits the defense up the middle. I don't think they had a chance. He was floating out of the box.
Father Tom, sister Allison, and the moment they'll remember forever. Way to go, Lucas.
Welcome to the club, kid.
Now let's see if he thinks about stealing a base. You know, Vasquez handles the bat. He can bunt him over to second as well. Tough to get a read on a lefty pitcher. Vasquez tries to bunt, and he went too far on the attempt, and that's a strike. It's 0-1. Enough nerves as a rookie in your big league debut to worry about trying to steal a base against a righty when it's a lefty whose move you've never seen before. It's a whole different story.
Yep.
Now they're going to try and bunt him along. It's in the dirt. That's 1-1. Vasquez leads the team with 3 sacrifices on the year. Astros have had 13 successful bunts this season. Gets this one down. Spence will get to second. Play made to first. And Christian Vasquez with his 4th sacrifice puts a runner in scoring position.
Beautiful job by Christian Vasquez. It's nice when you got speed on the base paths too. You just know you just got to get that early bounce. It doesn't matter where the direction is. Just get it down in fair territory. Easy read for Spence.
Now Jeremy Pena a chance at an RBI. He's already scored 2 runs tonight. Only time he was retired, he hit a fly ball to deep center field. Pena takes 97 up for a ball, 1-0. Spence, who had his first big league base hit, on base for the 2nd time tonight with a walk and a single. Now he's got a chance to score his first run of the night. Astros would love to get an extra run here in this tight 2-1 game in the 7th. Brian King warming up in the Astros pen. He'll have the 8th. Take on a pitch down, 2-1.
These are going to be parts of the game down the stretch for the Astros that become very important at bats for Jeremy Pena and Isaac Paredes. You're not exactly sure what they're going to do with Jordan if there is a base open. But if you walk a Jeremy Pena, he finds himself on base, first base, then you've got to go ahead and approach the big man and see what happens.
Well, now they have to face him.
Yep.
That's a huge point that you made, because if that base is open, Jordan's almost automatically going to get an intentional walk. Now there's nowhere to put him. And oh, by the way, he doesn't mind facing lefties.
No, not at all.
Jordan has been on base his last 6 plate appearances. 3 hits and 3 walks, and 11 of his last 13 plate appearances. And they are going to have a little discussion on the mound here before Jordan bats, with pitching coach Drew French out there to have a word. Now a word from Reliant.
Reliant, official energy provider of the Houston Astros.
Jordan has never faced this lefty Wolfram before, but you know he was a student watching those previous at-bats.
He really is a student. He's already got an unbelievable approach against left-handed pitching anyways, so I'm sure that he's not going to be overwhelmed by the moment, but these are always moments that he finds himself in late, and the reason these fans are cheering is because he's come through in these situations.
I know it was a different scenario. Astros were down 2 at the time, but didn't they walk Jordan first and second?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Intentionally.
Intentional.
Wow. That's how much respect he's gaining right now.
Yep.
See how they pitch him here. On base 11 of the last 13 times. That one was nowhere close to the plate. And now we hear the chance of MVP.
Well, and you wonder, too, if they give the pitcher 2 pitches to find a way to get a strike, just to get a strike or get ahead of Jordan, then you can kind of figure out what you want to do from there. But if you go behind 2-0, it's already a foregone conclusion he's going to be on first base, you would assume.
Yeah, you're playing with fire the deeper you get into a hitter's count. Yeah, they don't.
Not even close.
They're not
right.
interested in throwing him a strike. And then if you throw a wild pitch, it's okay, because then you're saying, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and walk him.
Yeah, but tell him.
Yeah. So that's the thought. You know, see if you can get him to chase, which he won't. And then even if you throw a wild pitch, it's okay, because then we walk him. Kind of a bizarre strategy, but it's almost the Barry Bonds treatment at this point.
It's getting there. It's very, very close.
Nothing close to the plate here from Wolfram. It's the guy who didn't walk anybody in his last 2 outings, but he hasn't thrown a pitch close to the plate here to Jordan Alvarez at 3-0.
And again, you might be able to get away with a 3-1 fastball in the zone, but there's no way you're going to do it again. I'd be surprised if they throw him another hittable fastball in the zone.
If they do, this game could be turned from a 1-run game to a 4-run game in a heartbeat.
Oh my.
He got one.
Yeah. Took a pretty healthy swing at it, too.
He was ready for it. Said, give me another one.
Give him credit for coming after him.
So here we go. Full count. 2 on. 1-run game in the 7th. Isaac Paredes on deck. Up and in. That is walk number 65 drawn by Jordan, on base for his 7th consecutive time and 12 of his last 14 plate appearances. And with Isaac Paredes due up and the base is loaded, Craig Albernez is coming out of the dugout. He is going to go to his bullpen. First-year manager for the Orioles makes the call. We'll have a new pitcher here with the bases full and 1 out.
Diaz catching bobblehead presented by Goya. Get your tickets now at astros.com/promotions. Big moment right here for Cam Sanders coming out of that Baltimore bullpen. He was recalled from AAA Norfolk, but you can see 9 games with Pittsburgh this season. Has an 8.68 ERA. He was acquired from the Pirates for cash considerations on Monday. And here he is in a bases loaded moment at Dyken Park.
Isaac Paredes with the bases filled in a 1-run game and 1 out in the 7th. Goes after the first one and misses a slider 0-1. Sanders has walked 10 and hit a batter this season in 9 1/3 innings. He does have 13 strikeouts, so he'll be looking for a strikeout here. That one's down 1-1. Grant Wolfram allowing a leadoff hit to Lucas Spence, his first major league hit, and a couple of 1-out walks to Jeremy Pena and Jordan Alvarez. Swing, no contact, 1-2. In play, but foul. Count stays 1-2 on Paredes. Isak got down on the count 0-2 in the third inning, ended up hitting a sacrifice fly to give the Astros a 2-1 lead. He's officially 1 for 2 tonight with that sac fly. That one popped up. Is it going to head to the crowd? Yes, it will. Just foul enough. Stay out of play. It stays 1-2. Oh, he threw his bat at the ball to stay alive, and he's still alive.
That's impressive.
How about that? He knew he couldn't hit it. He was just hoping to put the ball in play somehow.
So you just throw the bat at it. That's incredible.
That was a nasty pitch with 2 strikes to stay alive on.
It's one thing to spoil it with a swing. Spoil it with a thrown bat is another.
He's 2 for 8 this year with the bases loaded. Ooh, good pitch. He froze him. Started the slider at him, and it broke over the plate. Paredes strikes out. That's a big out for Sanders for out number 2.
Big old slider locked him up. Came back and caught the plate. Big strikeout.
Now Christian Walker with the bases loaded. Christian takes a pitch up for ball 1. Obviously, when Paredes and Walker were going over the scouting report, they knew about the wildness of this right-hander making his Orioles debut tonight after pitching the last 2 seasons with the Pirates. This is the slider. It's 1-1. Christian hit on the right hand with a pitch his last time up after striking out his first 2 times. Tried to hold up on a pitch in the dirt, and he goes too far. It's now 1-2.
It's got to be a little tough with the pain in that right hand to be able to hold up on a pitch, check your swing.
Tips below the zone. The count evens. Walker 1 for 6 on the year with the bases loaded. Astros have left at least 1 runner on in every inning so far tonight, except for the 4th. Now it's 3-2. So Sanders, who has issued a lot of walks this year, unable to find the zone here with 2 outs. It'll give everybody a head start. Spence will leave third base. Pena will leave second. Alvarez will leave first with 2 outs. Pretty good rip of that fastball.
Got a good fastball to hit, just cut under it a little bit.
Christian second on the team to Yordan Alvarez in RBIs. 58 of them at the break. Giving it a look, Rutschman near the screen, puts it away for the final out of the inning, and the Orioles escape a bases loaded 1-out situation with a strikeout and a pop-up. Still a 2-1 game. What's on Tap is presented by Lawnmower Blonde. How about the Astros with a couple of rehabbing starters in the minor leagues? Ronel Blanco has made 5 appearances, has a 1.06 ERA. Hitters hitting just 203 against them. And Hayden Wisniewski, who pitched today in El Paso for the Sugarland Space Cowboys, 15 2/3 innings and ERA sub-3. We should see those guys at some point soon.
Yeah, that'd be a beautiful thing. They could really enhance that rotation, kind of massage them back in, but he is here catching a big league game sitting next to his buddy Yainer Diaz. Brian King, as you can see, is into this game. 2.93 is that ERA after 40 games. He is very happy to be pitching in this ballpark. Didn't have a good time in Arlington, but in this ballpark has a 1.96 ERA.
King will face the meat of the order for the Orioles. Adley Rutschman, switch hitter, hitting right-handed for the first time. And then Taylor Ward and Pete Alonso. He'll face 3 righties. As this one is sent down the line in right, slicing, and it stays fair and into the corner. And it bounces up and out of play, so that'll be a double for Rutschman to lead off the 8th inning as the tying run.
It's a fastball away, and Rutschman does exactly what you should on that pitch. He's got good lag in that swing and makes it tough, but hits that ball hard down the other way for that leadoff double against Brian.
Astros have had opportunities to extend the lead tonight. Had first and third, nobody out in the first, and bases loaded, 1 out last inning, and we're unable to score anymore. This ball drilled deep to left field. Taylor Ward has just given the Orioles their first lead of the night. Taylor Ward hits number 7 on the season as he picked on the first pitch from Brian King. And it's now 3-2 Orioles in the 8th.
It's now 3 straight tough outings for Brian King. 4 pitches in this inning and 2 runs. The double to Rutschman, and now the home run on the sweeper from Ward. You're right about those extra runs the Astros were unable to pick up, proving costly here.
The Orioles have made the most of their opportunities. The Astros have not tonight. And now Pete Alonso bats with an 0-2 count. That is now 7 runs allowed for King over his last 3 outings. Last outing was a 2-inning outing. Gave up a 2-out home run to Kyle Higashioka for his only run allowed. He's been pitching mostly 1 inning at a time prior to that outing. The Astros got just 3 innings out of Christian Javier. So was spotted trying to protect a 1-run lead, had King go out for the 2nd inning, and then Hader in the 9th. 0-2 pitch is up and no swing as Alonso checks his swing. It's 1-2. That one down and in, 2-2. Taylor Ward with a big swing. Daniel De Los Santos begins to warm up. Ward not with the home run totals we were used to with the Angels, but his 7th home run proving to be a big one tonight for the Orioles. Ward hit 36 last year for the Angels. Swing and a miss. Alonso down as King rebounds with a strikeout for the first out of the inning.
This week on Astros Bases Loaded, we take you down on the farm for a special edition episode from the Astros AAA affiliate, the Sugarland Space Cowboys. Astros Bases Loaded airing after Astros postgame tonight, streaming on the SCHN Plus app.
Tough play for Altuve as he will underhand it, and a great job by Walker on the stretch and the catch on the underhand throw by Altuve to get the out.
Was it me, or did this play take forever to unfold? Christian thought about it. Altuve got to it, kind of stutter stepped and took his time, and then flipped it low to Christian, who eventually had to extend himself to that glove side to make the play. Put him between the pipes.
Walker continues to play great defense, errorless in his last 123 games. That was not an easy play. That throw was offline a little bit and low and firm. And Walker made the play for out number 2. Now Leody Taveras will hit for Dylan Beavers. And he'll take a strike. Beavers struck out 3 times today against Peter Lambert. Lambert unfortunately now ends up with a no decision tonight. That one's up and away, 1-1. King, after giving up the double and the home run, then follows it up with a strikeout in that little tapper on the right side. Trying to keep this right where it is at 3-2. Pitch up 2-2. That one will be more conventional for Walker. He'll take it to the bag himself. Taveras grounds out to end the inning, but a big 2-run home run by Taylor Ward. The Orioles lead for the first time tonight. Next telecast is presented by Kaplan Sinus Relief. It'll be tomorrow night. Afternoon contest here at Dyken Park. 3:10 first pitch. Our coverage starts at 2:30. Trevor Rogers gets the ball for the Orioles. The left-hander will be opposed by Spencer Arrighetti, making his first post-All-Star break start. It'll be tomorrow afternoon right here on SCHN. New pitcher for the Orioles as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and now the Orioles lead 3-2.
It's going to be right-hander Andrew Kittredge making his 30th appearance. 25 innings in the 29 previous outings, a 4.32 ERA. It's going to be all over the dish. 23 strikeouts to 6 walks on the season for Kittredge. It's been very good in his last 8 outings. 1 earned run in 11 1/3 innings pitched. He is going to throw you a ton of sliders.
First batter he's going to face is Jose Altuve. Altuve looking for his first hit tonight. He's 0 for 3. And that one off the end of the bat. There's the first slider we see. It's 0-1. Altuve 1 for 4 with a walk against Kittredge in his career. Takes a fastball for a strike, and Jose down in the count 0-2. One of the reasons the Astros were able to climb back within 2 games of 500 in the last month and a half has been the great pitching from their bullpen, protecting leads in close games. But that was not the case in Arlington for Brian King, and unfortunately was not the case tonight for BK as he gives up a go-ahead 2-run home run. Had the Astros offense given a little more breathing room, they might still have the lead in this game, but all those men left on base coming back to haunt them with 8 left on in the first 7, and great scoring opportunities in the first and the 7th. After getting down in the count 0-2, Altuve hasn't left the zone, and now the count's full.
Altuve's had a couple of patient at-bats throughout the course of this game. Not much to show for it, unfortunately, but he'd love to start this inning off by getting on base and trying to answer back to that 2-run top of the 8th for the Orioles.
That's a called third strike. The slider gets him looking, and that'll be out number 1 here in the 8th. Wade Jr. has walked twice tonight. Only time He had an official at bat. He tapped back to the mound on a spinner off the end of his bat. After taking 2 out of 3 going into the All-Star break against the Astros, the division-leading Rangers had a tough start to their post-All-Star break schedules. They lost in Atlanta tonight 15-1. Rays put up 15 runs on 19 hits. My buddy Mauricio Dubon had 2 of those hits and an RBI. When you put up 15 runs and Chris Sale's starting, got a good chance to win if you're the Braves. 7 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball for Sale tonight.
Yeah, that's just, as a team, you just wearing that one.
3-0 the count to Lamont. Could walk for the 3rd time tonight. And that's going to be ball 4. Lamont Wade Jr. on for a 3rd time tonight via a walk. He had walked only twice in his first 10 games coming into tonight for the Astros.
Lamont Wade Jr. also getting the Barry Bonds treatment today.
Now Cam Smith. Cam faced Kittredge earlier this season and singled in his lone plate appearance against this right-hander. Sends this one into right, popped up. New right fielder for the Orioles is Leody Taveras, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Don't miss Kids Day on Sunday, presented by Pluckers. Get to the game early as a variety of kid-friendly activities will be set up in the Union Station lobby from the time the gates open until the first pitch. You can learn more by going to astros.com/kidsday. Here's Lucas Spence batting for a 4th time. He's 1 for 2 with a walk in his big league debut. Spence takes a fastball at the top of the zone for a strike, 0-1. Spence in the minor leagues this year with 5 home runs, 13 doubles, and 4 triples. Fouls one at the plate and is down to the count 0-2. Luke is from the Chicago area, born in Chicago Heights, Illinois, went to Blackhawk College in Moline, Illinois, before Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. 5th major leaguer ever from that school. In the air, left center, playable. Colton Cowser calls off Taylor Ward and puts it away for the final out of the inning. Spence flies out to end the bottom half of the 8th inning. Astros down 3-2.
Tonight's aerial coverage of the Wire Cam is brought to you by our partners at Defy. Tough ball game here tonight between the Orioles and Astros. Orioles taking the lead 3-2 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Hopes were to see Josh Hader, but he is not going to come in. It's going to be on Enyel right here to keep this game where it's at. 41 games, a 4.33 ERA. Good command, only 10 walks in the 43 2/3 innings pitched. Fastball changeup slider for Enyel De Los Santos.
7, 8, 9 due up. Colton Cowser will lead things off. Cowser smashes one to right, but he got under it. Back there is Cam Smith, and on one pitch, there's one out. Hauser now 1 for 4 on the night. De Los Santos getting it out on the first pitch he throws. Now he'll face the right-hand hitting Kobe Mayo. Astros trying to keep this at a 3-2 game. Not much offense for either side. Astros have 5 hits. Orioles also with 5 hits. The Astros have had a lot more base runners, though, as there's been 6 walks and a hit by pitch issued by Orioles pitching compared to 3 walks allowed by Astros pitching. All 3 walks allowed by Astros pitching tonight were in a 3-batter stretch in the 3rd inning when the Orioles scored their first run. This one popped up on the infield, so this should be 3 pitches and 2 outs. Jose Altuve puts it away. As Kobe Mayo retired for the 2nd out.
Let's answer our trivia question powered by Reliant. We talked about Peter Lambert being the 2nd pick of the 2nd round of the 2015 MLB draft. Who did the Astros choose 2 picks later? Thomas Eshelman is the answer to Astros trivia powered by Reliant.
Jeremiah Jackson taking a pitch off the plate for a ball. Eshelman pitched 3 seasons with the Orioles, 2019, 20, and 21, sometimes as a starter, sometimes as a reliever. Now it's a 1-1 count. Astros will have their 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up in the 9th inning. The 9-hitter is Christian Vazquez, and the options on the bench for Joe Espada include a left-hand hitter Taylor Trammell. Righty Tyler Wells is warming up in the Orioles pen and should be on in the 9th. You also have 3 righty hitters, Zach DeZenzo, Nick Allen, and Yainer Diaz to choose from. And ideally, you get the lineup to Yordan Alvarez with at least 1 runner on. And we've seen what he can do in a game-winning situation earlier this summer. First things first, De Los Santos needs to keep the game at 3-2. 2-2 the count to Jackson, who pinch hit and struck out in the 7th. That one down 3-2. Well, Santos frustrated with himself as he walks the 9-hitter and will face Gunnar Henderson here with a runner on and 2 outs. 4th walk allowed by Astros pitching first since the 3rd inning. Here's Gunnar 0 for 4 tonight. He's had a hit in 7 straight games against the Astros. Takes first pitch strike. It's the fastball there. De Los Santos ahead 1-2.
Cheater right there getting that past Gunnar. Elevated on that top shelf. I feel like he could go back there if he wanted to, but Danielle's got a pretty good changeup.
Oh! Christian Walker saying, yeah, we might want to, but
that's pretty close.
Astros have lost a challenge earlier, so it would have to be an umpire-led crew chief review. They're going to review this.
Yeah, I didn't have gotten him.
So, as Diaz, the crew chief, is going to listen to what New York says. I think they got them.
I think
The final out.
Yeah.
Challenge you to safe call at first base.
It's our best look, maybe our only good look. See what you think.
Tag is on Jackson right there. And the hand has gone there. I think that's enough.
I think he's out.
You just hope that New York feels that that's a good enough angle of it.
Fans think that they're going to overturn this one. The Astros kept their challenge earlier when Walker thought they had the out at first, but they never did review that. Here we go.
After review, the call's been overturned. The is out.
De Los Santos with a pickoff to end the inning. Astros need 1 to stay alive, 2 to win it in the bottom of the 9th. Houston Astros baseball on SCHN is presented by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. By Rooms to Go. Get fashion, style, and quality all at low prices on every item, every day. And by Texas Children's.
Fans are getting ramped up. I would like to see some fireworks before the fireworks show. Taylor Trammell get a pinch hit for Christian Vasquez. There you see the score, 3-2. Bottom of the 9th, Tyler Wells is coming in to close this game out for the Baltimore Orioles. Does have a couple of saves under his belt in 35 games, a 3.02 ERA. He's done a good job against lefties, but he has given up 5 home runs this season, 4 to left-handed hitters. Changeup fastball mix has been very good for him against left-handed hitters.
So here we go. Trammell hitting for Christian Vasquez, leading off the bottom half of the 9th inning. Astros down 1. Astros have left at least 1 runner on in 7 of the previous 8 innings. Broken back grounder, just foul, almost stayed fair. Trammell on the first swing of the night loses his bat.
Yeah, it hasn't been pretty for the Astros as far as hitting with runners in scoring position in recent days, weeks, depending on how far you want to go back. Last 10 games, 10 for 46 with runners in scoring position. It's a .217 batting average. But they do have Jordan hitting third in this inning if he gets pitched to.
Tonight's number can't be very good.
No. You're going to have to give me a minute. 1 for 6. Left 9 guys on.
Swing and a miss with a changeup. Trammell down in the count, 0-2. It'll be Trammell, then Jeremy Pena, and then Jordan Alvarez due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. A little pop up beyond shortstop. Gunnar Henderson out making the play. Trammell pops up for the first out of the 9th. The Astros' 2 runs have been scored by the guy coming to the plate now, Jeremy Pena. Pena walked in the first, scored. Singled in the third, also scored. That's here with 1 out and nobody on. He is officially 1 for 2 and has been on base 3 of the 4 times. Pena has never faced Wells before. Jeremy pops a foul. That'll be out of play.
Wells is 6'8", that big frame kind of coming downhill. You expect the ball to come out of the hand a little bit quicker than it does, but doesn't really bring the high octane, relies on those secondary pitches.
Checked his swing and the count's 1-1. Pitcher number 6 of the night, Tyler Wells. Dean Kramer, their starter, lasted 4 innings. Anthony Nunez 2 innings, then an inning each from Grant Wolfram. Actually, Cam Sanders came on for a partial inning as Wolfram went a third of an inning. Sanders got the last 2 outs, and then Kittredge in the 8th. That's just wide, 2-2.
See a little bit of the confidence in the changeup, throwing it to Jeremy Pena, the right on right changeup. Try to get that outside corner.
Only one Astro in tonight's lineup has a career home run against Wells, and that is Isaac Paredes. Paredes would be due up 4th in this inning. 2-2 the count to Jeremy. Good take. Wells thought he would get Jeremy to leave the zone. It's 3-2.
Try to get Jeremy to leak out there. Good choice not to.
Hit hard down the line, but hooking foul.
There's a changeup that hung up out of the middle part of the plate. Jeremy got just a little bit quick on that combio. But he can be aggressive in the zone. Jeremy can. There's no way they're trying to fish off the edges with the big guy on deck.
On the ground, tough play. Henderson down to the ground, but safe at first is Jeremy Pena. Tying run on first. Winning run striding to the plate in Yordan Alvarez.
Really like this play. Jeremy put together a great at bat. Gunnar Henderson laying out to make the play. Had to come up quickly, but you had a chance to see the speed of Jeremy Pena take over and earn him that hit. That was amazing.
It's also going to be amazing watching close to 32,000 people stand for this at bat, to the point where the pitcher Wells cannot hear his pitch comm as Rutschman goes out to talk to him about how they want to attack Yordan Alvarez as the game-winning run.
Adley is saying to Tyler Wells right now, I know your best pitch is that changeup, but you better darn well not leave that in the zone anywhere in the vicinity that this guy can get a hold of it. You're going to have to be very delicate, very edgy. Worst case scenario should be that you walk Yordan. Best case for the Astros is a bomb.
Last time the Astros had fireworks at Dyken Park was the 4th of July.
That was a big night.
Yordan sent one out to center to start the fireworks show. Tonight there are fireworks as usual per Friday nights. Can Yordan start the fireworks show again? Ooh, he challenged him with a fastball.
With a heater.
How about it? Much respect for that pitch. Yordan not thinking he was going to get a heater there. Chance of MVP making their way around the stadium. Popped him up, foul. Near the stands and just into the first or second row as Mayo gave it a shot. Good catch by that fan.
And that was an excellent changeup from Tyler Wells, just down and away off that outside edge. I think Yordan might have been hunting that changeup. Got it, but it was just off the outside edge. Not out of the woods yet if you're Tyler Wells.
Yordan has never faced this righty before. Down in the count 0-2. Smashed it foul.
Tried to beat him inside. Yordan said kitchen's closed.
Yordan has been on base his last 7 plate appearances and 12 of his last 14.
cutter in, cutter up. You wonder if they're trying to get to that changeup now in the 1-2 count. Rutschman moving to the outside corner.
Popped him up. Shallow center. Jordan got under this one. Colton Cowser makes the call on the catch, and that's out number 2.
Was the changeup, but it was elevated.
Jordan retired for the first time in his last 8 plate appearances. Well, we mentioned Paredes does have a career home run against Wells. Came in the 23 season, and he was a member of the Rays back then at Tropicana Field. Got a slider on the outside corner and hit one out. Up and in to Isak, 1-0. Isak 2 for 8 against Wells with a couple of walks in his career. That one's down, 2-0. Christian Walker on deck, and Paredes hasn't seen a strike yet.
I'm green lighting Isak.
Ball in the gap should tie the game with Pena's speed. Bottom of the zone, strike, 3-1.
Yeah, it looked like a pitcher's pitch down. Just caught the bottom of our UTMD Anderson strike zone. Isak looking for maybe something a little more elevated that he could get under and elevate to the pull side.
Checked his swing on a strike at the bottom of the zone again. Good changeup, and the count's full.
Those are 2 beautiful pitches. 3-0, 3-1.
So now Pena will be off with a pitch. He'll definitely score on any double. Orioles playing no doubles at third with Mayo on the line. That's going to be down, ball 4. The Astros have the tying run at second, the winning run at first, and Christian Walker bats with 2 outs in the 9th. Nick Allen will come on as a pinch runner for Paredes as the winning run. And we'll get a meeting at the mound with Drew French coming out to have a word with his closer, Tyler Wells. Walker batted with first and third in the first inning and struck out. Batted with a runner on in the third and struck out. And then popped up with the bases loaded in the 7th. He's had opportunities to add to his RBI total tonight. He'll forget all those other opportunities if he can come through here.
It's kind of the beauty of baseball is it can turn into the ultimate redemption story if you're having a tough night. Make up for being hit by that pitch also in the 6th inning. And lingering pain in that top hand, but at the same time, like TK is saying, one swing for the race those previous 4 at-bats.
Walker's only faced Wells once in his career. It was last year at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, and he had a single against him in his lone head-to-head matchup. Single should tie the game tonight with Pena in scoring position. Nick Allen, the winning run at first. First pitch fastball for a strike, 0-1. The high fastball, it's 0-2. Walker drafted by the Orioles in 2012. Made his big league debut with Baltimore 2 years later. Now trying to beat his original organization, down 0-2. down 1-2.
Change up right here. Slider. Looking to be off speed. A couple of elevated fastballs. Good job fighting off that one.
Staying alive. Wells is also getting in that area where his pitch count is approaching 30 for the inning. That's usually danger zone for a reliever, even though he's a guy that will go multiple innings. 30's a lot for one inning.
And they've been leverage pitches too. Since that Jeremy Pena at bat, every pitch has meant something to Tyler Wells. He's had to be pinpoint.
Got him. Ball game over. Orioles win it 3-2. Frustrating loss for the Astros as they leave 2 more on base in the ninth. And on the night, they strand 11, including a lot of them in scoring position. Astros lose the first game coming out of the break, 3-2 the final score. Kevin Eschenfelder and Brian Bogusevic are your hosts tonight for the Astros post-game show. It's presented by Whataburger. Or calendar gathering interviews in the Astros clubhouse. Post-game show is next.